that is, from SDA Kruger. Fears and Phobias is the title, and formal evaluation is from Fernando Azevedo. Fernando, will you kindly share with us the purpose of the speech?
I don't want to.
What did we do to you?
You're making me work a lot tonight. Okay, the purpose of this project is for the speaker to, the timing line comes, is for the speaker to learn how to handle a disruptive audience and how to quieten them, how to quieten them down as necessary. That adjustments. Or you're going to explain what
Thank you. So to our visitors, please do not be surprised or shocked or scared to come back. This is in support of STS project. So we have 5 role players: the arguer, the interrupter, the talker, and the silent one. The fifth one, the chatterer. So we'll have 5 role players engaging, coming in between SDS speech. So this is not to say anybody, it's just part of SDS project, just to see how she can manage a difficult audience. So if I could call onto stage SDA Kruger, Fears and Phobias, SDA Kruger.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, our visitor and guests. My speech tonight is about fears and phobias. First of all, I'm going to tell you what the difference is between fears and phobias. Then I will introduce you to some rather strange and interesting phobias, and then I will tell you how to deal with them. But let's first talk about fear. Fear can be terrifying.
face everything and run.
Exactly. Maybe you can think about a dangerous situation in your life. And I can clearly see that Christine and Stefan can relate with that because they already shared an experience they had with fear. I also want to share the experience. 3 times in my life, I was so terrified. I was actually in life danger. The first time was when I was still a child. I grew up on a farm, and one Sunday afternoon they let us know that there's a fire raging on one of the neighboring farms, and we all went out to help. And fortunately, and accidentally, I got caught between 2 fires. It's paralyzing. That fear is immense. 20 years after that, I got into trouble in the BBC. That day I thought, okay, this is it. Today is the day. I couldn't see how I'm going to get out of this. And I think what the worst experience is that physical symptoms that goes with it. You start to tremble, your mouth gets dry. You basically can't think straight.
Did you know that the fear of long words is hippopotamophobia?
Yes, that is part of my speech. That specific word is part of my speech. We'll get to that. And luckily, someone on the beach could save me. Honestly, 3 weeks after that, I was in another dangerous situation. We were bribed with friends one Friday evening, and 3 men came out of nowhere, out of the gold. They were armed. It was paralyzing. It was such extreme fear.
I can so relate to that.
You can also relate to that. Thanks, Jacob.
That has also previously happened to us. We were also at a bride, and the same thing happened. There's 2 guys, not 3, but...
No. Thank you so much. And during questions and answers, I will give you more time to elaborate on that.
Have you had to have counseling from this experience?
Yes. Especially, I thought that I was okay, but I immediately realized that my kids were not okay. That we will touch on in the last part of my speech, how to handle these situations. So, they locked all of us together in a small room. And it's so strange because after that situation, I got claustrophobia. That brings me to phobias. Why are phobias and fears related? Because there's an element of fear in both of them. But what is the difference? When you're talking about phobias, you are not really in danger. To you, it feels as if you're in danger. I mean, if I'm in a claustrophobic situation, it feels to me as if my life is in danger. But you're not really in danger. But let's touch on what Nando said. Some interesting fears. One of them you may know, glossophobia. The reason why I'm standing here. The reason why I joined Toastmasters. The fear of public speaking. Then the most common phobia is arachnophobia, the fear of spiders. But then you also get arachnopatrophobia, the fear of peanut butter. You know, I laugh about it. But for a person with arachnopatrophobia, peanut butter sandwiches are no joke. Then you also get cynophobia, the immense fear of dogs, or aerophobia, the fear of flying. Anyway. And then also, are there any Gen Zs in the room? Nomophobia, the fear of being without your phone. But my personal favourite, hippopotamonstrous hippopotamophobia, the fear of long words. Someone out there thought that it would be hilarious to give such a phobia the longest name ever. And that brings me to my third point. How do we handle fears and phobias? Did you know that babies are born with only two natural fears? The fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. All the other fears we accumulated over time. The problem with fears and phobias is that they are real. They need some attention. We need to be understanding. My family is accommodating my claustrophobia. They will never say, just get over yourself, because they know I will attack them. They treat me with empathy and treat me with understanding. Maybe you also have a phobia in your life, or you can think of a family member with a specific phobia. Treat them with empathy, treat them with understanding. Fears and phobias are part of being human. And you know what? At the end, we're just human after all.
Thank you so much, Christia. How Mr. Agiwa.
So what?
You didn't argue.
You didn't tell me which one I was going to be.
You chose Agiwa.
You said no, I said
You
yes.
did?
No, I said
Okay, now he's arguing. Now too late for the argument.
Where's the one stop text? I said, I'll roll the die and let fate decide.
I talked.
Christine, you were the silent.
No, we did, and then you answered really, really well.
Thank you.
Because we were chattering, and she said,
Sure was the
I'm
silent one.
sure Stefan and Christine have already shared one of their fears. So that was really well done. Oh,
So you didn't have a
right.
silent.
Well done.
No silent.
What is the silent?
Just shh.
Person is, the silent was the person who's supposed to be
Just there.
shy, and you interrupt the speaker only at a very particular point when they're about to get to their climax and actually break them.
Thank you so much, Estia. I think maybe we took something from Estia's project. We have those.
She still hasn't told us if she had counseling.
Yeah. You have no idea how bad this project used to be in the legacy The legacy days. In this one, you have to stop. You're only allowed to interrupt the speaker once, or up until they tell you to stop. If once they've told you to stop, you stop. You can't carry on. In the legacy series,
You could carry on.
you just keep going and going and going. Yeah. That's
Another time, sorry,
Thank you so much.
6:09. So you did very well with your time.
Thank you so much. Sir, we're getting carried away. May I please have the grammarian's report?
Yes, Esther. Did you use the word of the day?
Like nothing.
I think what you did give me is a phobia of pronouncing difficult words because arachnophobia, the irrational fear of peanut butter. Didn't going to practice that at home. But well done for you for practicing it before you came here. Not a lot of filler words, none that I recorded. And well done for all the difficult pronunciations.
Thank you so much, Yaku. Now for our formal evaluation by Fernando. Are you ready, Nando?
no, you're going to need to.
Okay, I'll do that. So, tomorrow is Easter.
Yeah, just to try.
Good try.
Yeah, so what I can say right now actually is, it is given the opportunity, given the chance to seize the opportunity given to us to rest, to watch movies. Please do share movie recommendations. I'll be in those the whole weekend. But for now, I'll just share a nice quote. I love the book, The Power of Now, because it just forces you to realize that sometimes you're just rushing and life will definitely force you to pause. You know? I was telling to the N4 fellow that earlier this year I had a neck injury, and then 3 weeks later I fell. I injured my right side, and then the left was compensating, and I fell on the left, and it was great to scratch. But you know what I realized is that yes, I know we shouldn't give meaning to everything, but I chose to reflect on this one, that life sometimes forces you to pause a bit, you know. You're always rushing, you wake up late, you want to rush, you're in traffic, you're waiting, you're rushing the road to open, you know, some things, it's just simply us trying to be ahead of nature's order of things, you know. Nature is nature, and we need to respect it and allow it to be nature. So sometimes when you're late, I'm not saying take your time and be late and get used to it, but take your time and reflect. Take a bath, be present so that you don't bump your toe, you know, have your breakfast. Eventually you will get to work, or you will get to wherever you're going. Even in that traffic, you will get to where you're going. So I'll share the quote when I close off. For now, then call Nando to the stage.
Thank you very much. Yes, very well done. You have done this topic before. I do remember it, and France evaluated you before. And one of the things that I noticed that you changed slightly is you personalized the topic and you related it very well to the audience. I think that you were perhaps a little bit too soft with me in my first interruption, so you didn't stop me. Okay? You could have been a bit firmer, like you were with your second one. With the second one, when you said yes, I'm going to address that next week. Okay? Because the talker interrupts with stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with what you're talking about. I mentioned the hip, okay, at completely the wrong time. And that's something that you can consider. In terms of actual speaking presentation, your vocal variety has gotten it's leaps and bounds compared to where you started. It is absolutely Wonderful. So what I'm going to ask you to work on is not nitpicking, it's just taking you a little bit further. Your cadence, so your pace, doesn't vary as much as I would like that to see. Now the reason I'm mentioning this is when you're giving a presentation where you're presenting information, data, like what you've done, if you don't have a presentation behind you that you're talking to, then a presentation style, or in the newsreader style, can lose a lot of your audience. Not that you've got that style because you changed your tone in a lot of places, but because it's slightly less conversational. And that's what I would like you to try to challenge yourself on, is when you present, because you do generally present informational type of talks, if you are not comfortable with the conversational style of speaking, then perhaps try the lecturing style of speaking. So the difference mainly being, conversational is actually like you're having a one-on-one with somebody. The lecturing type is more, I want to get the word right, invocative. Invocative meaning you land on pauses and let the audience think about that. And if they don't have something about them, ask questions of them, right? And don't rush them. If you're not comfortable with the conversational style yet, but it's something I'd really like you to challenge yourself on, because I think, man, it's there. I really do think you have the capacity to try if you'd like to.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.